in the historic courthouse. It is 9:04 a.m. Do we have any announcements today from anybody? Anything that we need to know about? I have no public comments. We do have a quorum present. Present voting today is Precinct 1, Commissioner Hatfield, Precinct 2, Commissioner Timmons, Sims presiding, Precinct 3 is Commissioner Malden, and Precinct 4 is Commissioner Ebar. Our first item on the agenda today is from our auditor, it's administrative report. Good morning, Ms. Haynes.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Before I start my administrative report, I want to give you an update on the payroll project. We officially kick it off on Monday. So we start our current versus future state on Monday. We will be meeting with Tyler most of next week to identify how we currently process versus how we will be processing in the future. I have spoken to each of the departments, giving them a heads up about there's going to be a 20% group that will be doing dual payrolls for 2 to 3 payrolls. That way they're aware of it. We will be selecting a wide range of people from each of the major departments and each of the functions within those departments. That way we have a broad range of potential issues that we may uncover. So I just wanted to give y'all an update on that. The plan is still to be live by the end of the fiscal year.
Very good.
Okay, with that, I'll go ahead and start my April monthly report. You should have a copy of the report. As of April 2023, we have a fund balance of $37,428,458. On page 2, if you'll see a summary of the general fund. As of April 2023, we have collected $22.3 million versus $21 million in 2022. That's an increase of $1.2 million or 5.81%. On the expense side, we have paid $12.8 million versus $12.9 million in 2022. That's a decrease of almost $86,000 or 0.67%. So we're pretty flat on the expenses. From a net perspective for the general fund, we have collected 9.5 more in revenue than what we have spent versus in FY22, it was 8.2 million. On page 4 is a summary of the Road and Bridge Fund. As of April 2023, we have collected $5.2 million in revenue versus $5 million in 2022. Did I say 2022 first? I meant 2023 if I did. That's an increase of $127,000 or 2.53%. From an expense standpoint, we have spent $2.3 million versus 2.2, which is a increase of $74,000 or 3.38%. On page 5 is a summary of, the view of a net position on the Road and Bridge Fund. We have collected $2.9 million more in revenue than what we have spent in comparison to FY22, where we had collected $2.8 million more than what we had spent. On pages 6 through 10 is a summary of revenue by department in comparison to budget. On pages 11 through 15 is a summary of expenses by department in comparison to budget. And of course, on page 16 is the debt status, and of course, we have 0 debt. And that's all I have for my report.
Any questions for Ms. Haynes on the administrative report? If not, we'll move on to item number 1, which is consideration of approval regarding line item transfers.
I am requesting transferring $11,390.08 between line items within the county.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve? Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Malden. Any questions or comments on the line item transfers? If not, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Item number 2 is consideration approval of payment of regular bills.
The amount listed on the report is $722,971.41. During the review of the checks, the treasurer identified where we had taken a credit twice. So we're having to add that back in. That's a difference of 58, and that's on page 10 if you're curious where it's at. So we need to increase the amount on the report by the $58.78. So what I'm requesting payment is $723,030.19.
Is there a motion to approve payment of regular bills of the $723,030.19?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Ebarb. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Our next item is consideration approval of payroll for May 26, 2023.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you.
Hearing none, passes 5-0. Thank you, Ms. Haynes. Next up, the Road and Bridge Department. First, we'll hear about the administrative report. Good morning, Mr. Davis.
Good morning, Your Honor. Commissioners, how y'all doing?
Good.
So y'all should have a bi-weekly shop report in front of y'all from May the 3rd to May the 30th. And during this same time period, we've issued 67 road permits, so the new weights and licensed guys, he's really doing a good job out there. He's got them coming back, getting their permits. He is working out fine. He was a good choice. Thank y'all. And we have begun construction on Carolyn Bell on the west side and Boggy Road on the east side. We had a couple of mechanical failures with some equipment on the east side, and then the rain hit, so we're moving right along though. We keeping the west side going right now. Of course, we got our construction contract construction going on. You had Rayford started on Old Town. They got a little over 2 miles chewed up, so they're going to start cementing next week. And Reynolds and Kay is finished up 5 Notch Road South on the base work and the prime, and they've started on Page Road today chewing it up. So they'll cement it and prime it, then they'll go back and chip seal them.
Both of them, both of them.
Yeah, one right after the other. And the contract mowers, they thought they had finished up, but we found a couple of roads they had missed simply because they're just not used to all our roads. So they're going back to get them and they'll be complete. So
Fantastic.
we're
You've been
making
happy.
a lot of progress out there.
You're still happy with their work?
Yes, they doing a good job. There's a couple of spots that were real wet they couldn't get to. But, that's understandable, as much rain as we had. So he sent some crews back out there to weed eat and get it back as far as they could. But some of the spots are so wet you can't even stand up in them, So they're doing a fine job. Looks real good.
I want to let you know that I've been getting some positive phone calls about them as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that these guys know exactly what they're doing and want to appreciate the court for giving them the opportunity to come and do that work.
Yeah, they're doing a fine job.
Yes.
Good. Any questions for Mr. Davis on his administrative report? You mentioned y'all are working on Boggy and
Yeah, and Carolyn Bell on the
Carolyn
east
Bell.
side, which is in precinct 2. It used to be in 3, but it fell over to precinct 2 in this last redistricting.
Okay.
And it's a road, both of these are road damage roads too. These are roads that the oil field paid for.
Oh,
Excuse me, y'all,
very good.
allergy problems.
Right.
All right, no other questions? We'll move on to item number 1, consideration and approval of personnel changes for Harrison County Road and Bridge Department.
Well, we've had 4 new hires, 1 resignation. Since our last report, we've got 3 out of 4 new hires on our summer slots filled. We've got 1 coming in Wednesday for an interview. We hope to hire him on. We have 46 full-time employees, 7 open full-time positions, and we still have 3 temporary summertime slots open. So we're not getting a whole lot of applications coming in.
That's a pretty common problem, I think, with everybody right now. Any questions on the personnel changes? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Item number 2 is consideration and approval of the utility application submitted to Harrison County Road and Bridge Department as follows. East Tex Telephone Co-op on Old Town Road, which is County Road 1202. East Tex Telephone Cooperative on Wascom Legion Fields Road, which is County Road 1214. And again, East Tex Telephone Cooperative on Old Town Road, which is County Road 1202.
Yes, sir, all these applications have been reviewed and they meet our standard specifications outlined in the Utilities app.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve on the recommendation of road administrator.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. I did notice all these by East Tex, it's all fiber optic
Yes, sir.
cable they're doing all
All
there
fiber optic.
around Legion Field, so those folks will be getting them a new road and some new internet.
I hope they come out and put fiber optic down Blocker and start on
I
it.
wish they would too.
You're right there at the shut-off point, aren't you?
Right at the shut-off point.
All right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Davis.
y'all.
Next up, from our Sheriff's Department, we'll hear administrative report from Sheriff Fletcher. Good morning. Good morning.
Judge, Commissioners. This is our activity summary for 5/3 to 5/31. We entered 2,404 calls for service, took 208 criminal reports, 33 were assignable reports to the Criminal Investigation Division, arrested 64 individuals, 24 traffic citations, dealt with 7 mentals. Now, when I say that number, it always seems like we have mentals all the time. Once you've sat on one, sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's a day, sometimes it's 2 or 3 days. So that could be as many as 7 days or 21 days sitting in hospitals with them. So just to put some perspective on that. Did 35 transports for a total of 4,440 miles in the Transport Division. Received 222 legal documents to be served. 81 were personal services. 11 indictment precepts were served in the jail. 31 tax postings, 18 regular postings, and 1 for the Harrison Central Appraisal District sales tax. For a total served of the 222 of 142. Sent out 800 juror summons. Our jail population right now, as of 6/2, was at 229. And I think I saw yesterday it was up around 260. So they've been rolling in. They arrested almost 70 people last week between us and the other agencies around us. So we're housing 2 for the Marion County due to their overpopulation and 17 for the U.S. Marshal Service for a total of 19 contract inmates. Our Fire Marshal's office cleaned up 29 illegal dumping sites this month, did 14 inspections. We fielded 18 complaints, did 21 follow-up inspections and 25 utility hookups. At 18 single-family permit fees for $6,480. 3 commercial or multifamily permit fees for $1,680, for a total money collected of $8,160. That concludes my monthly.
I feel like I've been paying attention every 2 weeks, but 29 illegal dumping cases seems like a lot.
It's a lot.
Does that
There's a
seem
lot
like
of,
more
lot
than
of
normal?
trash to clean up.
It's a lot.
And some of those take, for instance, there was one up in Woodlawn that took several days to get cleaned up. It was couches and I mean, anything you can imagine. Somebody just cleaned the house out and dumped it all out there. And, you know, we do it as fast as we can with what we got. But Blake's done a great job with that. He's Johnny on the spot. He's kind of like, he's my Jerry on that side, if you will. He's got his inmate crew that he picks up several days a week, and they've done a lot of good, but still a long way to go for sure.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you getting those things cleaned up. That's a big deal. But gosh, if there's some way we could write some tickets and get those folks.
If we can figure out who it is, yes, and we have, but some of them you do, some of them you don't.
Yep, very good. Thank you, Sheriff.
Sheriff, he was also talking about the mental cases, and I know it's a sad situation when we have to use our sheriff department as I guess mental doctors, you know, and that don't come into play until after a crime has been committed by a mental patient. The only way we can do anything about that, to kind of try to separate the two, the state have to be involved. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, but statewide in Texas, the sheriff's office has a what you call it, their civil division that and transports that always handles the mentals. Every sheriff's office is having to do this same thing because of
So it's a statewide
I don't know if it's a
problem.
lack of funding or a lack of what, but it's kind of really laid back on our backs as a county.
Yeah. Thank you, Sheriff.
I had a similar cleanup, as you mentioned, in Woodlawn in Precinct 1 off of Highway 80, where somebody had just evidently bought an old vacant house or something, but Mr. Bolander did an outstanding job, that quick, fast, in a hurry, so they're doing it to it out there, so
Thank you. I'll let him know.
appreciate it.
No other comments. We'll move on to item number 1, which is consideration and approval to accept a donation from Tom Whaley Jr. Investments and Harry W. McGee IV, each in the amount of $5,025 to be used to purchase a rifle, scope, and ammunition for the Harrison County Sheriff's Office Emergency Response Team.
Obviously, a very generous donation. You know, we just received a donation for their new rifles they're running, and this is just one more tool of that component to make it whole. So I'm glad that they opted to do that.
Yep, we're certainly appreciative of those gentlemen as well, their thoughtfulness of
So each one of them gave
$5,000 apiece. Appreciate their support of not just the sheriff's department, but gosh, I mean, it's for the good of the county. So
Absolutely.
it's a blessing to us. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebarb, second by Commissioner Malden. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Number 2 is consideration and approval to accept the state plan of operation between the United States Territory LESO program and the Harrison County Sheriff's Office.
This is the LESO program is we opt into it every year. It's where our MRAP came from, and all of basically the state is handling the military surplus basically that's going out to departments. They're handling, the state has taken on that responsibility for the U.S. government.
So this is a federal piece of equipment that
That's
we're
right.
getting to use that comes
Handed to
through
the state to hand out to
to us.
individual
So
counties.
this is our annual agreement with them to use the MRAP.
Correct.
Vehicle. Very good. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 5-0. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank y'all.
Don't see Mr. Thomas or Mr. Nenninger in here, so we'll move right on to Ms. Harkins. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Item number 1 is consideration and approval of the rental service agreement between Centos and Harrison County for uniform services regarding the building maintenance department.
Yes, Mr. Thomas and I met with Ms. Julia Hemphill from Centos last week. After her proposal, we will be saving an average of $40 to $50 a month based off of just service fees that our previous uniform
Who were
company
we
has
using
charged us.
before?
UniFirst.
Who were we using before?
UniFirst.
University?
What she proposed also, we will get to add the cleaning ladies who currently only have an apron, so they have added scrubs. We've added an extra maintenance man to it, and we're still saving money. We'll also, she is going to put an emblem from Harrison County on our uniforms, make it look more professional. So,
Very
all in
good.
all, I think it was a huge win.
Sounds like.
Mr. Thomas talked to me about that, and it's an outstanding deal that we
Yeah,
were able
the
to
guys'
save
uniforms,
that
that
kind of
they're
money.
upgrading those also. He said it was a
Yeah.
good thing, so.
Yeah, outstanding.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Ebarb. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Number 2 is consideration and action regarding the approval of the bond for Sadie Harkins, our purchasing agent, in the amount of $5,000. Motion by Commissioner Timmons. Second by Commissioner Malden. Any questions or comments? This is just the bond required for her position as purchasing agent.
Yes.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Number 3 is consideration and action regarding the approval of the contract agreement between Harrison County and Rayford's Truck and Tractor for the award of bid number 2023-13 and authorization for the county judge to execute said contract.
So this was already awarded. We're just, like you said, executing the contract between
We
Harrison
awarded the
County.
bid, now we'll complete the contract. I guess we could have done both of those at the same
Yes,
time, couldn't we?
yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, that's all right.
We're trying to get in the rhythm of doing them at the same
Yep,
time.
we got a bunch of them coming through. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Ebarb. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank y'all so much.
Under new business, item number 1 is consideration and approval of the 2022 through 2023 annual contract for 12-Way Foundation and ESD number 2, and authorization of payment of budgeted amounts in the FY 22-23 budget for each contract and authorization for the county judge to execute said contracts. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebarb, second by Commissioner Malden. You guys have had a chance to review these contracts. These are things that we had budgeted for, and budgeted to pay out to these entities, just as we had planned. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? If not, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Item number 2 is consideration and action regarding the approval of the corrections to the resolution and AFA regarding 8 Mile Creek, which is County Road 1301, at the request of James Moore, the Bridge Inspection Coordinator from the Atlanta District for Texas Department of Transportation, due to their processing errors. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. And my comment on this, Mr. Moore was trying to, you remember, we have approved for TxDOT to replace the bridge on 8 Mile and Cargill Road, is that right? Yeah. Cargill Road, and we had to do some in-kind work as our match, and then they came back and said, well, no, you don't have to. And so since you don't have to, we need you to cancel the agreement, and they sent us the wrong agreement and finally got it corrected and updated, and here we are. So hopefully this will put that to bed. But a little trouble on our part, but gosh, it's worth it to get them to build us a new bridge, so we're thankful for that. We have a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? If not, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Number 3 is consideration and action regarding the approval of the agreement for the operations and maintenance of the AWAS system, that's the Automated Weather Observation System, between the Federal Aviation Administration and Harrison County, Texas, the airport, and authorization for the county judge to execute said agreement. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. And this is this OMM, Operations and Maintenance Manual, simply spells out who maintains and how you maintain our weather station out at the airport. And, of course, I think I could figure out how to do that in less than 70 pages, but, that's what we got here. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
I'd just like to make a comment, and this happened with this deadline we found out about late last week, and Ms. Graff did an outstanding job on meeting this deadline to avoid anything.
Well, not only that, she reached out to them, contacted them, talked to the guy, the main guy in DC, I think, and got his blessing to wait
Yeah.
until we got this done.
Yes, sir.
So I agree. Thank you, Ms. Graff.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that, just
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah, we
but
appreciate it.
it's not this one time, it's every day.
Yeah, that's true.
So thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Brings us to our last item. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Malden, second by Commissioner Hatfield. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 5-0, 9:31. I think I might have beat Mr. Hatfield's record.
I tell you, I think you're close.